right, into the into our last segment of the day. We're each going to have a team that we're going to talk about. I'll go first because I don't know if everybody knew that or if Dave selected his team yet.
Never.
So this is going to be our segment. Is who's what do we name it? Like who is
which team or which fan base needs to panic the most?
Yeah, which team or fan base needs to panic the most? I will go first. I'll slap the panic button, slap it, and it's got to be the Milwaukee Bucks. It's got to be the Milwaukee Bucks for me. Milwaukee Bucks obviously already limited when you have Glenn Rivers as your coach. But beyond that, I've never been a giant fan of Bobby Portis stat wise and box score wise. He's always a good player, hustle player. Fans will love him. He's like a Pat Bev, but elevated in terms of scoring. And then Brook Lopez in game 1 against the Sixers looked like, again, he is an elite rim protector, but offensively he is so slow and so limited. And it's really like the only thing he can do offensively is a 2-foot hook shot or a 2-step beyond the 3-point line hoof from the top. He somehow makes it, which is the most. His shot is so ugly and it goes in. But my bigger worry is that Dame and Giannis still look like they don't even know each other's last names. They play like what's the analogy I want to use? They play like AAU kids who were stripped off of other teams and put onto this super team, and we're just told to go out there and play. Doc Rivers is running his old hierarchy offense, where it's not a democracy, it's a hierarchy. If anybody remembers that quote. And it's a bit worrisome for me. Giannis is Giannis, so they always have, this is what I said earlier, the Bucks always have the chance just to flip it and turn into the team they could be with Dame and Giannis on their team. But Dame, again, looked better with Giannis out tonight. So, like, is it not worrisome for you guys that their 2 stars literally cannot play well enough together to win games?
Yes. Because you're not sitting Giannis or trading Giannis. Like, that's it. It's like, I'm going to throw this out here, and I know this is never going to happen, but I'm throwing it out there anyways. If this continues to be a trend, should the Bucks look and just be like, you know what? Let's make Dame available. Because you're not going to do that with Giannis. You're not going to make Giannis available.
That's actually the point that I made to my friend who's a Bucks fan. Shout out, John.
Should they make Dame available? Yeah.
We were talking because you're going to do everything in your power to not trade Giannis, right? You're going to do everything you can before then. Yeah. So is it firing Doc? Is it trading
Well, that
Dame?
should have happened yesterday.
Is it trading Brook Lopez? Is it trading Bobby Portis? Is it trading Chris Middleton? Like, what is the exact answer? I think there's so many different avenues that you could go down that I don't know which one you would be the solution.
Yeah, it's tough because they had basically last year was like, we all wrote it off as, well, Dame was going through a divorce, he's moving towns, like all this stuff in his personal life is affecting his play on the
What's
court.
the excuse this year?
That's my point. Is we already heard that during the offseason, like they didn't work out together. It wasn't like, hey, let's make this work this year. We got this. We got to be a team in order for this team to function. That didn't happen. So again, we got 2 guys who don't match play styles. We got a coach who doesn't seem anyway interested in finding a way to make them work together. And we have role players like Taurean Prince rocking 38 minutes a night in November. Like, what are we doing? I don't know that. Yeah, it's Doc. It's just Doc.
I was going to say this. We've seen guys win titles who haven't meshed. Shaq and Kobe. Who did Shaq and Kobe have coaching them? Not Doc Rivers, Phil Jackson. Well, you're going to the players can't mesh, but then you're going to need a really good coach to make them mesh on the court.
But I would say off the court, you cannot mesh. That doesn't matter to me. It's on the court. They still look like they don't mesh on the court.
But a great coach can get them to mesh, is what I'm saying. Is there a great coach out there to get them to mesh?
I'm gonna be so real with you though. I don't blame Doc for those 2. Doc for the other stuff, for Taurean Prince playing 38 minutes and that kind of stuff. I blame him for that, right?
Not taking the shots.
Giannis and Dame, listen. I'm the first one to blame Doc, usually, all right? Usually that's me.
That is.
But when you have Giannis, who's a top 3 player, and Dame, who's a top 30, 20, whatever you want to say for it, it is not his responsibility to make them look like they know how to play basketball together. That should be on them. That's on the 2 players. That is on your 2 superstars to act like they like each other and play basketball and win games. All right.
It just shows how players are different now than they used. Like, you know what I mean?
No, because even Shaq
and Kobe's the main one You don't need to get along on the court, but on the court, Shaq and Kobe were like, we know the goal, and we're going to do what we need to do to get the goal.
But for like the first when Jimmy was in Philly, he hated Ben Simmons, but they look like that on the court. No, they didn't.
Bingo.
Was Brett Brown an elite coach? No, he wasn't. He just but they you have to have some sort of attitude. And Giannis is this has always been my problem with Giannis is the most obnoxious person in the media. Like he's like, oh no, maybe they'll trade me. Oh no. Wait, I signed my contract. I didn't even know how much money it was for.
Yeah, I just
like
signed
this
it.
stuff is just stupid. Like he is, and Giannis is an all-time great. Like literally, probably a top 20 player of all time. He is that good.
Yep.
But he is so unserious. Like, listen, we traded for Paul George. We signed Paul George. Him and Maxey were in the gym 2 days later. How are you and Dame on the same team for a year, and you never worked out together?
Yeah.
That's just insane. That's insane. And that's unserious for both of them. That's not something a coach should have to come along and be like, you guys need. No, they should be in the gym multiple times in the offseason together, playing together.
You know what could possibly happen?
What?
Looking at their contracts, what could possibly happen is, so Dame's contract technically could come up first. His player options in after the 26-27 year. But let's be honest. If Dame continues this trend, he's probably not going to get $58 million from a team. So he'll probably opt in. There is a really good chance, if this doesn't work, when Dame is an unrestricted free agent in 2028, guess whose player op comes up? Giannis.
Ooh. No.
Giannis could opt out of that player op and still get 60 mil at 33 from a team.
Probably get like 75 million.
Bingo. Like
contract.
They could lose both of them if this doesn't work out, or if they don't move Dame.
But you know what? You guys are focusing on all the things that are on the court. You know what's not happening on the court?
Wins.
Chris Middleton.
Oh.
Chris Middleton's not on the court. He's supposed to be the bridge between everything on that offense. He's supposed to make things work because he is kind of that ultimate third piece that, you know, teams talk about. He's not good enough to be a second guy on a championship roster. But Chris Middleton is the third guy on a roster. And I know the playoff Chris Middleton is different than regular season.
He was the second best player on a championship team, so like.
But that's always, people always said it, like he wasn't like good enough kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it was Drew. Let's be honest, Drew might have been a better player in the playoffs, as far as who helped them win more. But up for consideration. My point being the fact that he's not on the court, the fact that Gary Trent Jr. is shooting about 12% maybe on the season. So they're starting shooting guard that they paid literally nothing for, which great pickup. Can't shoot is a slight problem. So like production not there and production just completely missing off the scale. Like I don't know. I think that from a top down standpoint, they kind of failed across the board between a coach, between roster moves, and between contracts. This team is like, this is who we are, and we're just going to hope that in 4 months, we're going to be healthy and somehow winning games because Giannis and Dame are just good enough to make it work. And Chris Middleton will be the glue guy between them, and we will be, you know, great. Brook Lopez will never age further. That's fine. Bobby Portis will continue giving the crazy eyes from the bench. Like, what more could you need from this team? You know, I just feel like they're locked in. I feel like almost out of stubbornness, they're not going to do anything this year.
I was going to say, I think my simplistic analysis again, but like you have your best two players in the NBA, you should win games, regardless of if your third guy's out or if you have two of your best three players, you should win games. Especially in the East, that's been like how it is. You know what I mean? Like it's just the overall play. Like you have Damian Lillard and Giannis Antetokounmpo out there. I understand that Chris Middleton's out, but if Dame and Chris Middleton were out there and Giannis wasn't, I would accept that. But Dame and Giannis are out there. It's not. I'm not saying that they need to be a top seed. They just should be 500. Like
they lost the Cavs back-to-back games by combined 3 points.
Yeah, but
that's two tough losses.
Giannis didn't play the second game.
Understood.
And Damian Lillard looked better. I'm not even talking about their record or that. I'm talking about their overall play when their two best players are on the court is beyond concerning for me.
They lost to the Bulls. Let's be honest. That's the real, like, their only win this year is over you, and then we
the only reason
them. So like now it's this weird vibe between us because we have a better team right now than you do. And I understand, Jake, that's a lot for you to handle because it's not often that it happens.
I was gonna make an actual good point, and then I just got bombarded by bullshit in my ear. Here's what I was gonna say. The only reason they beat us is because Dame.
Real question: Who'd you guys draft this year? Do you guys have a draft pick?
Yeah, Jared McCain.
Is he playing?
Yeah.
Okay.
He had 19
Is
last
he
game.
is he on the NBA bench?
What do you,
Yeah. So you're doing something better than the Bulls.
Oh, yeah,
Ours is in the G League.
he's back on the bench tonight.
He got recalled. He just went
Bucks,
down
overall on the Bucks though, I think it's definitely panic button. They need to make some type of move, but they're still good enough with the talent that they have to be able to recover. It's so early, so we'll see with them.
Saying they're gonna make, but will they actually make a move? My answer is no.
I'm saying they need to. I think they need to. I didn't say they will.
Question. You're trading Dame. What's the return you want for him? What are you looking for if you're the Bucks?
Trading Dame is such a last thing resort for me.
I'm just saying, like if they go to do it this year, what's the return and who's the target? And will any team want Dame?
Somebody will want him. Miami will want him, but they still won't trade anything for him.
Jimmy Butler for Dame.
They're not trading Jimmy.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think.
Will they trade Tyler Hero?
Yeah, but
it'd
Tyler
be Hero plus Rozier plus some other garbage.
I just threw up. Yeah, I don't know if there is a move. But yeah, I guess
his
we'll
contract is giant.
Because you got both Giannis and Dame locked down until like 2028.
Yeah.
I guess you got to make it work.
I guess we'll see. Ricky, your team to hit the panic button on.
So mine plays who will probably be the defensive player at the end of the year, even though it should be Alex Caruso. The LA Clippers. I'm hitting the panic button so hard on the Clippers because, yes, I know Kawhi is out, but this team has no room to fail. They have no time to fail. They have to figure out how to make it work. And guess what? It ain't working. They lost to the Blazers, of all teams. Norm Powell puts up 30, and they lose to the Blazers by 1. This is a team.
Look good.
This is a team that will probably, I'm going to call it now, because we're sitting about a half hour before game time when I make this. They're going to lose their 4th straight tonight against the Spurs. They're even going to lose their 5th straight night on Wednesday against Jake's Sixers in LA, in the dome.
They're going to win a game?
The wall is not going to... Dude, it's a Paul George revenge game. Paul George or James Harden, who has the bigger revenge game on Wednesday?
I'll hear your opinion before I go, Dave, on this.
Well, the thing I was going to throw out is this team actually has news that I'm seeing that they're targeting a blockbuster trade. Will it get done? Apparently, rumors are Trae Young to the Clippers. They're looking to add Trae Young. Could they get it done though? Because every article I see has a similar trade that I have, where it's going to be like you got to give up Norm Powell, PJ Tucker, and then like with me, it's like contract fillers: Chris Dunn, Bones Highland, Kevin Porter Jr. But they're gonna have to give up Norm and PJ to meet the salary of Trae Young. Trae Young, 43 million.
I'm going to have to absolutely tell you there's no shot that's happening.
I'm not saying that it's going to happen. I'm just saying if that's what they want to do, will it even make them better?
No, we own.
Well, no. They have drafts. So basically what they have is 2025 OKC holds the right to a draft swap. So they basically give them the picks, and it would be like, hey, the Thunder can swap with you if we're...
You can have pick 29 or 30.
No.
Yeah.
Guys, do you not know how pick swaps work?
So
they swap the Clippers pick still.
Yeah, the Clippers pick.
Right.
Yeah.
So that team's... Okay, so it's okay.
So the team is getting the pick 29 or 30 in the first round.
I misheard what you guys were saying. My bad. I just had to make sure that
they're just trading their picks, and then instead of like Thunder Clippers, it's Thunder Hawks, but it's a Clipper pick.
Yeah, I think first of all, I'm not ready to hit the panic button on them yet. I think their defense has been up and down, but when it's been at its best, it's been top 3 in the league. I think they do need to make a move for a scorer, and I still think Zach LaVine probably is that guy. Now, if they'll actually make the move, probably not.
What's that deal look like though?
Norm Powell. I mean, Norm Powell, Bones Highland, and PJ Tucker, and then a pick probably is probably what the
pick.
Probably what it's. Yeah, they don't have picks to give away.
Get 2 picks out of you,
brother. You guys were gonna have to attach stuff, and you still might have to if he doesn't get healthy. But
no, he's fine,
dude. He'll be healthy. It's LA.
I'm not turning this.
He's only not healthy when it's a team like Detroit.
Yeah. That's fine.
Is injured.
All I'll say about them is
it's a great start.
They have James Harden. James Harden makes the playoffs every single year. Kawhi is going to be back at some point.
Russell Westbrook used to do that too.
Yeah, well, Kawhi is going to be back at some point. Didn't he still make the playoffs every year?
I don't know.
He did with the Wizards because we played them the year he was there.
Yeah, he
did every year with the Rockets. He did with the Lakers and the Clippers.
Maybe he did.
Sam
Yeah,
Westbrook.
maybe he did. Yeah, so my whole thing with the Clippers is the offense is the big issue for me. The defense is fine. A lot of their bad defense comes off of turnovers or bad shots that lead to transition for other teams. That's kind of where the Blazers got them out.
Yeah.
I think it's a little bit too much on old Harden, and I think Harden is still a tremendous player, tremendous creator, and very good initiator and pick and roll maestro. Probably still probably second best in the league. Probably Luka's better, but now at this point because he can't really move like he used to. But I think my whole thing with them is they're gonna have to go find another scorer even when Kawhi's back, so they can lighten the load on Kawhi a little bit. Who that player is or what that's gonna look like, I'm not sure yet. I think they are a move away.
Is Kawhi going to be back? That's the question.
Yeah, I think he'll be back at some point. I think probably end of this month, early next month he'll be back. That's my guess.
I just wonder with this team, are they going to struggle and then not be able to make a move to where they're going to get to the point of like, we could bring Kawhi back, but like, it ain't going to matter. Just we will get to a point this year where it's like, it ain't going to matter. Just shut them down. Go for a draft pick.
I don't think there's any point in November or December of a season where you think the season's over because they.
I'm not saying now, but I'm saying like. January?
I think that Kawhi is going to be back before I think end of this month, early next month. So I don't think we're going to get to that point yet. And we'll see if he stays healthy. Yeah. That's the big question.
By the way, on your Russ point, he did miss the playoffs in his career. Guess what year? What playoff year that was?
It was an OKC year, wasn't it?
It was an OKC.
It's the second triple-double.
2015.
26, I would say 2016.
He has made the playoffs 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21.
Oh, I was right about the Wizards.
Never mind. He missed in 22. I missed it. He missed in 22. I don't know who he was with. That might have been the Wizards
Lakers.
still. Was it the Lakers?
No. Oh, was it 2 years with the Wizards? Because maybe it was. Because maybe he had 2 years with the Wizards. I don't remember. Whatever it is. I think the Clippers are interesting. I think their offense.
The Lakers.
Zubac has been fantastic so far. Norm Powell has been fantastic, except for the first game where Ricky and I bet on him.
Yeah, me too.
Then Derek Jones Jr. has been really good for them also. Shout out to him. He's been really good shooting.
He's taking more shots than I expected him to.
Shooting really well, playing really well. You know what I think the solution is? The Shadow Retro, I think it's giving Jordan Miller actually playing time whenever Harden's off the court. I think it's giving Jordan Miller time to play it because he's an offensive creator who can get to the rim and have insane rim pressure percentages. So yeah, I think it's a lot of tinkering for them, but I wouldn't hit the panic button yet for them.
I feel like they got, like you said, they have pieces, and their pieces seemingly work as long as James Harden is healthy. As long as he's on that roster and healthy, I think they'll be close to eking in like a play-in spot. Yeah. Like it's just how far they could get if Kawhi can stay healthy during that time period. But yeah,
I hate the play-in. Oh, all you gotta do is get to the 10th seed.
But they're Harden tweak away from being like buried, like
100%.
Yeah,
100%. But that's a lot of teams here
because they don't have the pick control for this year. So yeah,
they don't pick control for a while.
Yeah.
What their next 3 picks are swaps?
We have their unprotected 28, and then we have a swap at 29, I believe. With them.
Yep.
Jesus.
They have 25, 27, 29. All of them are swaps.
Yeah, and the 28 we have unprotected. I don't know about 26 where that is.
Probably the Thunder too.
I'm telling you, that SGA trade is the worst trade of all time. I could not care less.
It's eclipsed the Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown.
Yeah, I think it has. You're gonna, I think it has. Regardless of whatever happens, like just value wise, it's gotta be, it's gotta be worse. But yeah, I guess we'll see with them. Not Ricky. Dave, what you got for your team?
I had a toss up. One team, both are in the West. One team is getting by still, so I'm going to go with the team that's not doing as well, slightly, in the New Orleans Pelicans. This team is a bit cursed, and they've been sitting on the pot so long. They've not made decisions when it comes to talent, when it's Brandon Ingram. Ingram's playing well enough this year. He's done the thing that people criticized him for, which is shooting more threes. So credit to him there. He's been an offensive hub when other guys are out because guess what? You're missing DeJounte Murray. You're missing CJ McCollum. You're missing Trey Murphy. You're missing Herb Jones. You're missing Jordan Hawkins. And now you're missing Zion Williamson. Thankfully, I think it's just a hammy. I don't think it's anything super serious tonight. But the point is, is even when Zion's been there, he's been wildly inconsistent. And their game is just it's frustrating to watch because they have talent. And I know we joked about this with like Damon Yas, is like you just stuck guys out there who are very talented but have no chemistry, and they somehow still have no chemistry after years of being on the same team. So I don't envy Pelicans fans because it feels like they have to make like multiple decisions to make this team successful. And I don't know how you like they have capital. They have young talent. If they can be healthy, great. But right now it feels like I don't know what they're I don't think they can tread water currently with this roster. So I don't know what the plan is for the next month. Like are we going to see them be like the red hot, like January through March team and hope that that'll be enough in the West? But the West is going to be so tight this year. I don't know if you can lose these early games and just write them off because honestly, the embarrassing stuff is like when you lose to a team like the Hawks who were struggling to find like we can be honest, David Roddy is getting like legit minutes and green light out there for the Hawks. You should not lose to that team. They also lost back to back to the Warriors, which, as people who don't watch the Warriors, very clearly,
dude,
that's shocking news.
That one Warrior game, like if they stopped the count after the first quarter, it would have been cooked. Like it would have been a great game for the.
It would have been cooked.
That was a game we bet on. Jake.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about that.
No.
I think they're an interesting team. I think we kind of said these concerns before the season started.
They're up 28-17 in the first with like 45 seconds left on the Blazers.
I believe nothing.
BI's got 12 in the first.
Carrying, okay.
Just slap my mic around. I do want to highlight Jesus. I just do want to highlight two players who I think have been really good for them. That's Misi and Hawkins have been fantastic for them. Misi has been a defensive monster, just like we all thought. And then Hawkins is finally kind of getting the green light and getting sets run for him. And I think he's at like 38% or something like that from three. He's been fantastic. So those two have been great. BI has had a couple of really good games where he's looked aggressive, but then again, kind of tapers off a little bit, goes back into the passive mode that he has in the past. And Zion is Zion. I mean, Zion's still a freaking beast.
He's not playing up to it every game. That's frustrating. Yeah,
that's what I was saying about him and BI. They both become passive at times, and that's going to be a giant problem now that you don't have Murray, you don't have CJ, you don't have Trey Murphy still. Like, it's just a lot to overtake. And I think I agree with you that it's more the East teams. We talked about having more leniency because they can lose games.
Yep.
The West is like, if you fall 4 or 5 games behind, good luck catching up. Opposed to the East, where if you fall 4 games behind, you might make that up in a week. You know what I mean? Like, it's a dangerous game the Pelicans are playing. But yeah. Any final thought? Anybody? Any other thoughts on the Pelicans?
Did we expect the Pelicans to be really like? That's the only thing I think about this. It's like, did we expect them to be great? We kind of expected them to. I think we expected them to have trouble, and then that leads to a BI trade. No,
I did think they'd be separated from the bottom tier of the West. Or like I thought they'd be in that tier. I think I said that back into the play-in for them, or maybe like we thought they had too much talent not to make the play-in. That's
right, because last year they had a run where they went on with CJ and Zion, and it was just like this team cooks left and right. Trey Murphy was hitting at a crazy rate. Like they have had these runs where they just look like everything is fitting perfectly. And when they're on, like, you just can't beat them. And like, okay, cool. They added DeJounte to this team. So like now we've got a guy who can be our primary ball handler when CJ is either, next to him or not in the game. But like, it felt like they added a piece at least, even if it wasn't like a perfect fit, but they added a piece in there that should have helped them win more. So yeah, I absolutely had them in I think play-in or bottom of the playoff.
We both had play-in.
Well, I just looked it up. All of us had 8 or 9. 2 of us had 8. 1 of us had 9. I'll also say this too, Jake. You've said it numerous times. It's so early in the year. 3 and 4 compared to all the playing teams right now are 3 and 3.
Yeah.
So it's like
it's more the worry over the next month. So we'll see. It's a wait and see for them. I think I don't know if I'm full panic yet, but I'm definitely waiting and seeing because it's like, dude, the West is a freaking different beast.
Urban CJ are at least 2 to 3 weeks. I mean, DeJounte is 4 to 6, and Trey is.
And we're a week into that. We're almost 2 weeks into the DeJounte now, I think. So yeah, I guess we'll see.
I got a question.
Yeah.
Should any of us have said the Nuggets? Should the Nuggets be in panic mode?
No, it's what they are what we thought they were.
Like they're low. The Timberwolves have started out slow, and both of them are now 10.
I think Timberwolves, if you look at the schedule, like slobber knocker games. I'm not super concerned there, but I think the Nuggets are exactly who we thought. Like it's Jokic who's going to have to carry job this team through the whole regular season, or else they have no bench depth because
except for Aaron Gordon
had to start.
Except for Aaron Gordon dropping 31. No, I was saying dropping 31. Just let me throw that out there.
Yeah, he had one good game. Shout out. Fix the shooting percentages with that one.
Let's go,
game.
AG.
Michael Porter Jr. needs to be better. Literally, Christian Braun and Julian Strawther have been like the two bright spots for this team. And Strawther has a bit of a blinders issue at times playing with that bench unit. I don't blame him.
They need that, though.
Yeah,
I would say they need
someone who can generate offense. And he is a catch and shoot machine out there. He can't make his own, but man, can he just play off? Yep, he can play off everybody else. I think that Christian Braun has been the surprise, though, to the starting lineup. Everyone was so concerned about him being the weak point. It's like, now he's literally the most consistent guy out there because teams haven't challenged him at the 3-point line. So he's getting up good volume at a really high rate right now from 3, and he's just doing all the little things defensively. So, yeah, we need more out of Murray. We need more out of Aaron Gordon. We need more out of Michael Porter Jr. And I don't know, can Jokic do this for another 75 games? Honestly, knowing Jokic, maybe. He's built like a tank. Like, but by the time they hit the playoffs, what's he gonna have left? Because he had the Olympics too. So
he should just be better, and he should be better conditioned to play better, and then show up in the playoffs after carrying his team for the entire season.
That's what I agree. Yeah,
but yeah. Let's end it there. Let's.
By the way, last thing I'll say, I already found my wet boy for next week.
No spoilers.
It's I don't know if this is going to keep up, so I'll say it. I would assume it was 7 of 7 and got 18 points in the
first time. He could make a shot.
They still lose him?
78-72. Io hasn't taken a 3, though. They've all been 2s. So probably driving to the lane.
My backup team in the West, just to put it out there, was the Grizzlies because they keep losing players too. And I feel like
they'd be a 3 seed.
I'm still hopeful. But they
must, Dave.
Hey, man.
They've not looked like themselves yet. John Morant, though, tonight, like they're going shot for shot with the Nets. That doesn't feel great.
What I tell you guys about the Spurs, by the way? Playing team.
Oh God, we're not doing that now.
Playing team,
well,
baby.
If you've made it this far in the video, please do leave a like down below. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell so you get notified every single time we do post a video. Yeah. Also, Patreon and Discord down below. Please check it out. Please, if you support us, please join the community. Also for free on the Discord. Leave your comments below. Who's your team to panic with? And also,
who's your team to panic with? You're panicking with them.
Who are you in the panic room with? But yeah, that'll do it for Dave, Ricky, and me on this week's edition of the Fast Break as Ricky opens up another Kit Kat.
My last one.
Yeah, we will be back next week, same time, same place, and on Patreon, live on Monday night. But yeah, I hope. Thank you for making it this far. If you did, also, we just rambled for quite a bit of time. And yeah, please check us out next week, and I hope everybody has a great day.
Woo, college basketball.
As always, we'd like to thank the people that make these videos possible, our patrons whose names are displayed on the screen now. If you would like to become a patron, go ahead and click the Patreon icon in the bottom right. And if you'd like to check out another video from MVP Sports, hit the video in the upper left. As always, thanks for watching.